Hello everyone, I'm Aditya Dubey and I'm very happy to share a success story with you all. Mr. Kushagra is with me and who is from Kanpur city and he has got recommendation. So कुशाग्र सबसे पहले आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई क्योंकि आपने अपने नाम को चरितार्थ किया है, आपका नाम ही है कुशाग्र. सो कुशाग्र बुद्धि का होना एसएसबी इंटरव्यू का एक रिक्वायरमेंट है. सो कुशाग्र कैसा लग रहा है ये सक्सेस पाकर?
लाइक बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है ऑब्वियसली. एंड करेंटली रिसेंटली मेरिट लिस्ट भी आई है तो उसमें भी जब अच्छी रैंक आ गई सो इट फील्स गुड.
Okay. Please share your rank as well as what were the stats of your SSB interview. मतलब how many students appeared and क्या experience था. तो थोड़ा आप अगर उसको story form में बताएंगे तो बहुत ही अच्छा रहेगा.
So like I'll start with my rank. My rank was 145th in the NDA 153 course, and 110 people reported when I went for the SSB, and out of 110, 64 were screened in and 17 were recommended from 4 AFSB Varanasi. So like the story was like my general experience was that in the morning at 6 a.m. around we reported for the SSB and documentation work went on. Then we were headed to the hall for the general instructions, and then our OIR test was conducted, followed by the PPDT, and then the results were declared after the breakfast. So I was screened in along with 63 others, so that felt good. And then after that we were allotted our dormitories, our room, and in the evening, like in the Air Force boards, what happens is the psychological test happens in the evening of the very first day. Meanwhile, in other Army or Navy boards, it happens in the next coming days. But in the Air Force boards, the same day psych tests are conducted. So in the evening, we had our psych test, which consists of that WATs, TATs, and SRT and self-description. So that we did. From the next day, our GTO task was started. Few batches had their interview started from the second day of SSB. My batch was given the GTO task. So from second and third day we did the GTO task. On the fourth day was my interview scheduled. So I gave my interview. My interview went for around 50 minutes. It went that, and then on the fifth day the conference started, and from morning till the evening the conference went, and then at the around 7 p.m. in the on the fifth day the results were declared, followed by the documentation work, and then we were routed back to our homes. So like I have spectacles on, so I wasn't eligible for the flying cadre. So my SSB journey ended there only. On the after the results were declared, I was recommended and I was routed back to home. While the other cadets who were there, like the candidates who were for flying, they gave the CPSS test on the sixth day, which is for the fighter pilots. You have to it is mandatory to pass that test. So they gave that test and then they were routed back.
ऑसम. एंड कुशाग्र ये भी बताइए कि आपको एसएसबी इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन में रणनीति बुक का कितना आपको बेनिफिट मिला और कौन कौन से सेक्शंस आपने अपने एक्चुअल इंटरव्यू में पाए?
Like it was quite beneficial. The mock test which it has, like the workbook type thing. First they give so many examples, and then you can actually practice them. There are thousands of questions of the OIR also and the other TATs and WATs. So I found that the psych test part, the WATs, TATs and the SRTs, so there were a lot of questions there which you can practice. So that practice makes a man perfect. So that gave me a general idea like what type of questions I can expect in the SSB. So when I gave the actual SSB, it did not feel very new to me. It was like I have practiced these things, it would be easy to do it.
Since you already had an idea, so that was really easy for you to manage.
Indeed, like it was kind of easy going. I did not feel like whenever you do something for the very first time, you are a little bit tensed. So I wasn't that tensed. I knew that I have practiced it, so I would be able to do it.
आपको कौन सा सेगमेंट टफेस्ट लगा कि जिसमें आपको वास्तव में लगा कि हाँ एसएसबी इंटरव्यू 5 डेज़ का है तो वास्तव में कुछ ना कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी मिलती हैं जो चैलेंजिंग होती हैं?
सो टू बी ऑनेस्ट लाइक चैलेंजिंग तो डिपेंड करता है कैंडिडेट पर कि उसको क्या चीज़ लग रही है. सम आर गुड इन सम फील्ड्स, अदर आर इन अदर फील्ड्स. सो पर्सनली मैं तो जब एसएसबी इंटरव्यू देने गया था, आई वॉज 80 kgs. So I was very weak in my physical aspects. So doing the individual obstacles was a tough bit for me. So to be honest, I did only 4 obstacles there. Out of the 10, I only did 4 of them. But I did the obstacles which had greater points. So like the rope climbing and the tiger leap and all. So they had a weightage, extra weightage on them. So I did those obstacles which I could actually do. And other than that, see, the interview is quite a tricky thing, because they ask you about, people think that it is only about my personal life, I know everything about it, but there are certain aspects which they can go deeper into it, and you might, mess things up sometimes because of giving immature answers or something. So you need to be very well prepared on the your own aspects. You need to introspect a lot, so that you can your interview can go well, because they are there to check your personality rather than your knowledge of the defense. Like people are rote learning everything, the defense aspect, it is required. Interviews they are asked, but then your personality is assessed there. So especially for the fresher attempts, I would say they ask more on the personal life. So you need to be well prepared on that.
तो ऐसे कौन से क्वेश्चंस आपको मिले जो आपके लिए थोड़े से चैलेंजिंग थे, अगर आप उन क्वेश्चंस को पर्टिकुलरली बताएं?
Nothing exactly challenging, but you should be prepared for it. For them, for example, they ask you about your best friends, so they might ask what do you like about them, and what do they like about you. So these are generic questions, but then they go deeper into it. Sometimes they'll ask, tell me only 2 secrets that your best friend has and you only know it. And then you have followed by a question like, tell me your 2 secrets only your best friend knows. And because you have already told about your best friend, and so they have noted down their names, and also they will be very specific about those names. So they'll ask you such and such, so you have to answer it.
There can be a cross check also, that at first you told this and now you...
Indeed, you have to be like very much prepared on it, because you cannot weave stories there. You cannot fool them, because it is their work to assess the candidates, and so people think that you can fool those interviewing officers, but it is not possible. So you need to be very honest, and you need to be well prepared beforehand, so that your interview could go easy, smooth.
And the questions which were based on your knowledge?
So like depending on knowledge, they ask some defense related questions related to Air Force, and then they ask me about the current affairs, but strictly about the defense aspects only, related to defense. So I told them about few, and then they go deeper into it. For example, if I told that we have developed a drone Nagastra 1, which is an indigenous drone we have made. So then he asked what is the nickname given to it. So I told them kamikaze. So then they again ask, so what does kamikaze mean? So kamikaze is the reference to the Japanese fighter pilots in the World War II. Those were suicide bombers. So like they go deeper into it. So it's not only about you if you are learning current affairs, so just not read the headline, but go into details, because if I would have read only Nagastra, then I won't be able to answer the kamikaze part, and what does kamikaze actually mean.
They can also, yes, this is what the reasoning ability they check.
Yes.
They just see that how much rational plans you have and how you think, whether you think rationally or not. Indeed, it is interesting as well, because this you come to know about your own analysis.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. And furthermore, I would ask you that during the interview, what did you feel? Which of your qualities helped you a lot, and you want to suggest the same quality to be developed in upcoming students, those who are going to appear in SSB interview?
See, so the quality which helped me a lot was the confidence which I had, and that confidence only comes after a thorough preparation. Because whenever you have had an experience beforehand, like I told you about this psychological test, I did the workbook and all, so you are a bit prepared for what is to come. You know what will come, and you are prepared for it. And what you can do about, and other things like the lecturate part and all, the GTO task, lecturate and the group discussions. So you have to be confident in what you are speaking. So you can develop those habits while in school by participating in various activities. You can participate in the whatever the extemporaneous debates and all. So you can it will take away your stage fear. lots of students have this fear of stage when they are subject to public speaking.
It becomes very challenging for them if it is if they are not in practice.
Indeed, indeed. That's why you can, develop these habits in the school itself. You don't need a, it's not something very special that only a few can do. If you are participating in generally, even with your friends, you can just discuss things and, put your points forward. It will, instill confidence in you, so that you can, during the group discussions and the lectures, you can put your points forward in a confident manner.
And you have named your schooling, so I wish to know more about your experiences at school. And did you follow the same routine that you have suggested just now?
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Like I have done my schooling from Delhi Public School, Jankipuram, which is in Lucknow itself. So, like, I have participated in many activities. I'm a quizzer actually. So I have been into many inter-school competitions. Even to, I have represented my school at national level in the inter-DPS competitions. So I've, visited many different places, different schools. So when you develop a habit of going to different places, you meet new people.
Yes.
You get a very good exposure to new people, and you are going into a very new environment, unknown environment, and you are performing there, so it gives you lots of confidence. I'm also, I've performed on stages, I've done debates in my school. So I've participated in almost as many activities as I could have in my school, especially during the 11th, when I was in 11th, because that is a portion where you are just the stress of boards has just gone off right now after the 10th. So the 11th phase, you can participate in lots of activities. So
Extracurricular activities really play an important role in
Indeed.
SSB.
Indeed.
Okay, further, I wish to know about the experience of your conference. What all questions did they ask you?
Yeah. So to be very honest, they barely asked me anything. I went in, they asked me how was your stay, how was the food, and are you feeling well? And I was having fever, so I just told them, sir, I'm good, just a bit of fever. So they just asked me if I got any medicines and all, and then I was told to go out. So this was my conference. So, like, the general trend was there, like the sure shot yes and the sure shot no candidates, they were having a very short conference time. So, like,
Okay. Yes.
yeah, those who were doubtful, like those candidates, that is like the general trend, which we other candidates also discussed, that jinka doubtful case tha, they were being asked questions. Some were asked like, how do you see yourself as an Air Force officer? How do you see your life 5 years ahead? What can you do special about when you come into Air Force? What qualities do you actually have? Why do you think you can be an officer? So these type of questions were asked to many candidates, and they were recommended too. Few were not, few were recommended. So it's not like if you are being asked questions, you would be out. So mine was very short conference, I would say.
What image you got? Like it was a short conversation. So what thought process did you have that time?
So during that, I had a big smile as soon as he asked about me the food. So I had a big smile at that moment, and then when I came out, I was still unsure that if I would be recommended or not. But deep in my mind, I was thinking like I haven't done bad enough that I would be straight away rejected. But still, there is a scope of, you don't know your performance at that moment. You don't really know what they have seen and what they have not. So unless the result is not declared, you cannot be very sure that you are recommended. But I was like, शाम को ही देखी जाएगी अब.
Being relaxed is also one of the virtues of a candidate. If they become tense just because of simple things, so that's not the right quality, I would say, because how you handle pressure, that's a quality of an officer. Okay, interesting. Related to Varanasi, did you get some questions like some of the questions based on your analysis, your presence of mind?
Not exactly, like they were asked to few candidates.
Okay.
It depends on the interviewer.
Yes.
They asked me something related to Varanasi, like what do you know about Varanasi in general.
This question was there.
This question was there.
Okay.
So wherever you are going, just have a brief look over the history of that place, the famous places of that place, so that it shows your awareness about that. You have the place which you are going, you have done a bit of research about it. So I told them of few temples, the Kashi Vishwanath temple and all, and the Banaras Ganga Aarti and all. So I told them about it is
Did
not.
they ask you further also that who is your favorite god and how do you worship?
No. That those questions weren't asked.
Mhm.
Basically, it was during a rapid building, like before the CIQs, the compulsory interview questions. They build a type. They ask random questions to build a rapport, and so that you are comfortable during the interview.
In our book SSB Ranneeti, you may pick that. In this book, many case studies are given. Did you go through them?
Yeah, indeed, I went through those case studies also. So that helped me a lot because I by reading the whole book, I got a basic idea of what would be asked to me in the SSB process.
And through the experiences of those recommended candidates, was it helping?
When I was actually in the SSB, it was coming into my mind. Yes, I read this. So it was something like, "Okay, हाँ, I have seen this. I can do this." You have a sense of relaxedness in you when you know about what is to come.
ओके कुशाग्र, बेस्ट विशेस टू यू। आप आगे लाइफ में भी सक्सेस की नई ऊंचाइयां प्राप्त करें और देश सेवा में आप अपनी सर्विसेज रेंडर करें। बेस्ट विशेस फ्रॉम टीम सेंचुरियन।
Thank you so much.
डियर एस्पिरेंट्स, क्या आप भी 2025 एग्जामिनेशन को क्रैक करना चाहते हैं अपने पहले प्रयास में? तो आज ही इनरोल करें सेंचुरियन डिफेंस एकेडमी के रिटन प्लस एसएसबी कोर्स में, जो आपको देने वाला है रेगुलर क्लासेस, फ्री स्टडी मटेरियल, ट्रेन्ड फैकल्टीज, एक्सपर्ट्स ऑफ द एसएसबी पैनल, फ्री एसएसबी कोचिंग, इंडिया लार्जेस्ट जीटीओ ग्राउंड के साथ में डाउट क्लियरिंग सेशंस, वीकली मॉक टेस्ट, रिगरस प्रैक्टिस। ये एक ऐसा संस्थान है जहां हम आपको A to Z प्रिपरेशन कराते हैं और आपको नेशनल डिफेंस एकेडमी की कड़ी तैयारी कराते हैं। प्राउडली ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1, 2, 3, 4 जैसे रैंक्स देने वाली सेंचुरियन डिफेंस एकेडमी आपको वेलकम करती है टू जॉइन आवर अपकमिंग कोर्सेज फॉर योर एनडीए एग्जाम प्रिपरेशन। Please call on 97959 77776 for more information. Thank you, Namaskar and Jai Hind.